Hi, Bean Beauties. Dee Dee Bean here. Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you so much for coming. Today is kind of a unique video. I'm going to be kind of like a sommelier, a wine sommelier, something like that. You get the picture. I am comparing three of my fine luxury scents to three of my fine luxury handbags, or luxury to me anyway. What I'm hoping to accomplish is that my three scents will complement my three bags and they'll be able to pair together just like a fine wine and a chocolate, or fine wine and a steak dinner, that kind of pairing. That's what I'm kind of doing. And hopefully I can grab the personalities of the fine scents of the fragrances, the fine notes of the fragrances with the fine details of the handbags, and hopefully that I can do some pairings that will make sense. And if not, we'll pretend anyway. So if you're up for that challenge, then come on back and let's see if we can have a little fun doing this new experiment. Okay, Bean Beauties, welcome back. Well, I cannot take credit for this particular subject. I was tagged by Rob from Poorman Luxury. He was doing a tag video collab with Smiling Cats Couture and Just One More Bags, I believe. And they created this tag, and I was tagged by Rob. He has a lot of faith in me. I'm not sure if I have faith in myself to be able to do this. So I'm new. Well, I've always wore scents, but I'm new into describing scents, into describing how each one appeals to me, and trying to gather that kind of information. So hopefully I can help you out more than just I like it, I don't like it, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to showcase three of my favorite scents right now, and that's the Louis Vuitton Imagination, and then it is the Chanel Chance Tendre, and it is the Miss Dior Blooming Bouquets. So those are the on my top list of favorites right now, and that I like to use consistently. And hopefully, I found handbags to pair with them that make sense to y'all. Okay, so we're gonna get started in half a second. Okay, Bean Beauties, we're gonna start with the fragrance that surprised me the most, and that was the Louis Vuitton Imagination. Now, what was a surprise about this is the fact that I got it because it was part of the Murakami collaboration, and it was the final bottle that I secured for the collection of four that they created. I had never smelt it before, so it was totally a blind buy. And when I opened the box, as soon as I opened the box, I could smell, and I was like, when I would smell it, I was like, I don't know what I'm smelling. It smells good. It smells really good. So I really, really enjoyed it from the very beginning. What the surprise was to me while I was doing research, because I didn't had no idea, is that this perfume Imagination is marketed for men. And I am totally the type of person who I want men's colognes, fragrances to be men's, and I want women's to be women's, and I don't want them to mix because it's just kind of how my husband and I are. It's just we like our distinct scents and things like that. You know, we want him to have a scent and me to have a scent. So when I saw that this was marketed for men, this was after the fact. This is after I already bought it, after I paid a crazy amount of money to find it in the collection, fell in love with it, that I realized that it was actually a men's fragrance. And I was like, ooh. And I was like, so does that mean that I don't like it? But this one in particular really surprised me. What it invokes in me is that fresh shower smell. Okay. That it's just nice crisp air smell. It's like putting on a fresh shirt. It's like, putting some fresh sheets on your bed, just that nice smell, that outdoor summer type of smell. And when I smelled it and I put it on and everything, what I thought was this would be perfect scent to have out when I'm going to the baseball fields, or the volleyball fields, or the sports for the grandkids, or have a family barbecue in the backyard, to where if I'm, you get sweaty and stuff, it still remain that nice crispness against the hot Texas sun and the heat. Sometimes when you perspire and you do that, it mixes with your perfumes or your colognes, and it makes it turn, because your body chemistry changes. But this particular fragrance doesn't do that, at least not for me. So right away, I knew that this would be the perfect summer scent, and I got to use it for some of the summer baseball games when it's hot. And of course, we're just now getting some coolness in the fall. We're just now having cold fronts that will cool it off, but then it gets hot back in the next week here. So I still can use it on the hot days, and it kind of go into what are transitioning from summer to fall to winter, because truly our winter isn't really until like January, February. When I was first smelling this perfume cologne, this fragrance is that there was certain notes and things in it that I really was not aware of. The Louis Vuitton has more sophisticated ingredients in it than what I'm used to. So there was lots of things in it that I was not familiar with, but I did like, off the bat. Let me see if I can read to you what the notes are from the Louis Vuitton website. So, what it says is that the unprecedented attraction for amber and tea for imagination to take flight. The key to the audacity, success, and drive of the creatives who made the wildest dreams a reality, an immaterial energy that is nurtured by travel and experiences that forge a new state of mind, a creative impulse that has always guided Jacques Cavalier's Bellatrude with an overgenerous dose of Ambrose perfumery and white gold. Never heard of that. The master perfumer reinvents the ambery accord to express a sensual and contemporary masculine elegance. And I read that whenever I was looking at it to buy it, but it didn't dawn on me like a masculine in the sense of that it was a male fragrance. Why it didn't dawn on me, I don't know. Probably because the fragrance spirits were didn't want me to get distracted from to not buying it, and that collector tendency in my brain was like blocking that out of me. Would I have still bought it had I known? Probably, and but I would have just said, okay, honey, to the hubs, this is for you. It goes on to say its contrast appear upon contact with noble citrus, black tea from China, extracted with CO2, a magical ingredient that carries within it the soul of travel. And I love how they describe that. With imagination, the spirit rises, escapes, and conquers new paths and freedom. And I wrote down in my notes that what I said earlier was that it smells like a clean, fresh shower, that it's good for sports and a sweaty day. And so I can see how that would be marketed for men, since usually men, are more sporty, they're out and about more, and so they want to give them something that smells refreshing. I haven't had my husband try it to see if he likes it. I discussed it a little bit with him, and he was like, and I said, well, actually, I'm the one who's wearing a male fragrance. So, but he goes, well, it doesn't smell like that. That's why he was like, well, I said, well, try it out. We'll try it. So we're going to experiment later, and I'll try to remember to update y'all and see if he likes it or not. But, it, it smells like just coming out of the shower, like just that clean smell. So, with that in mind, what I wanted to pair it with was something that was fun, something that was bright, something that was as energetic as how this makes me feel. So let me grab the bag. And I decided to pair it with my Cherry Rogue. I just thought that this is a great summer bag that could also be a fall bag, because during the fall you bring out the fruits, and even through the Thanksgiving and stuff, you have fruits and you have things like that through the holidays. And so I thought, okay, this definitely will be a bag. It could be your winter white with the fruits, but definitely it has a connotation of that summer fresh vibe, which is what the imagination um, does for me is give me that fresh vibe, that fresh feeling of it. And it's just, to me, I just really, really enjoy the scent. And of course, I love this bag. So this is my first pairing. My first bag sommelier pairing is the Imagination with the Coach Rogue Cherries bag. Okay, let me get the next fragrance for you. Okay, so next up is the Chanel Chance Oud Tendre. She's the girl that smells like pink happiness, peonies, brunches. She's just a nice, also fresh, but more of a light flowery scent. It's not like a heavy flowery scent. Flowery scent. I can't even talk, and I'm trying to describe this to you. I purchased this on our cruise last January. So technically I purchased it in the winter time, I guess, and I sprayed it because she had a sample to spray, a bottle to spray. And I just kept going back, the 2 or 3 days in a row to smell it. I was like, can you do it again? Because I would go after we came back from the pool. I would go after dinner, and I think I went another time after we had been in the sun to try it and see if I still liked it, because it's for me it's a pricey bottle of perfume, and I wanted to make sure that if I was going to invest in this fragrance, that I wanted to make sure that I would be able to wear it on more than just one type of occasion, I guess is what you would say. So I'm going to kind of describe it to you how it smells to me. To me, it smells more citrusy, more than it smells like florally, but it does have an underlayer of floral to me, but it smells more like citrus, like a fresh citrus. And it's has that soft scent, the fresh scent. It smells airy. It smells kind of like fresh shampoo kind of hairstyle. Just a fresh, but it has like the fruit notes in it, but they're not heavy. It's to me, it's very well done. Some people were saying that it was very sweet. To me, it doesn't smell sweet, but I also like sweetness in things. I don't like really tart kind of, flavoring testing, because even like my wines and things, I like them to be on the sweet side. So take that with a grain of salt that it doesn't smell sweet to me. It just smells more of the good parts of natural ingredients, not simulated ingredients. So that's to me one of the things that's important, because sometimes when you put on florals or even fruit smells, citrus smells, sometimes they smell synthetic. This does not smell that way to me. Okay, some of these what I find difficult when I'm trying to purchase fragrances from like Louis Vuitton, Chanel, even sometimes with Dior, is that it's hard to find the actual notes. Like there's not a little screen that gives you these are the notes that are in it, these are the scents that are in it. You have to find them, and they describe them in this elaborate description. And I'll read you what Chanel says about this this particular fragrance. So it's hard, especially for somebody like me who just can't pick out what what is in the scent itself. This was also one of the ones that I liked kind of right off the bat. So let me read you what it says under product description from the Chanel website. It says an enhanced interpretation of the unexpected floral fruity fragrance. Chance Oud Tendre possesses a tender, delicate presence that sweeps you into a whirlwind of happiness and fantasy, a chance encounter. The composition is a dazzling constellation of notes, is intensified by jasmine, absolute rose essence, an intoxicating, soft, and enveloping trail unfurls for a radiant and feminine scent. So this does smell more feminine, more ladylike. I don't think that well, you anybody can like anything, you know, you can like anything, but this to me does smell more female than the imagination. The imagination would I would say is or is more of a neutral type of fragrance, whereas this definitely smells real feminine. The thing with both of them, and you'll probably find that with this third fragrance as well too, is that they all smell fresh to me. They all smell like fresh, like I'm going to say fresh, freshly showered, fresh smell. They all have that fresh smell. They're not heavy. They're really light scents. And apparently that's what I like. Apparently those are the kind of fragrances that I like. And that's what this is. This is a real light type of fragrance. It has moderate wear. And that's what I forgot to tell you is that on the Imagination, that one lasts me all day through the night. And even if I go to bed with it, in the morning the scent is still there. This one is does that in moderation where it lasts depending how busy I am or how sweaty I get. If it stays on my body, it just kind of will, it might disappear in the night, and definitely by the morning it will be gone. So it won't last like through the night through the next morning. I won't wake up smelling like it, whereas I do with the Imagination. I do have a note in my note. I says it smells fresh, and I put kind of soft powdery, but not a bad powdery. When I say that, I said that to a friend of mine, and she was like, "Oh, it's not for me," but it's not that it smells like how my I don't. It kind of smells like a good makeup powder kind of a smell, but I like that. You know, I like that, but that's just kind of what that it invokes in me. But it's definitely very fresh, very soft, very ladylike. So I wanted to grab a bag that matched that kind of personalities. So the pairing that I picked was a Marc Jacobs bag. So I am pairing it with this J Marc Jacobs J Marc, and this is just like a pretty blush pink. I got this in 2023. It is just, it is so soft, which is what the scent smells to me. It's like a soft scent. It is pink. The perfume is tinted pink. This is like just a pretty soft pink. You have your back pocket over here, and it has this delicate chain, and you can use it this way. It also has a crossbody. I just thought that this would be a perfect pairing with this perfume because to me, everything that I kind of described in this is what this handbag says to me. Let me know if I did a good job pairing these two pairs together, this Chance Tendre fragrance with this pretty Marc Jacobs J Marc bag. All right, let's grab the next fragrance. Okay, I cannot find I have a bigger bottle. It's not a full size bottle, but it is a bigger bottle of, this is the Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet, which is one of my favorite fragrances. My favorite fragrance. I'm gonna say fragrance and perfume together. You pick whichever word that you enjoy. It definitely is floral based. It definitely has some strong connotations of floral, but once again, it's not heavy. It is very fresh smelling. It is very light smelling. It's not a heavy fragrance to me anyway. Let me read to you what Miss Dior, what it says. It says Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet is an instant pleasure, a declaration of love for life that draws you in. This fragrance for women in a fresh, tender blend of peony. And so I was like, okay, I like peony. Damascus rose. I don't know what Damascus rose is, but I like roses when it smells like a natural rose, and this doesn't have to me that simulated smell that I spoke about earlier. It also has white musk that makes for an irresistible and charming springtime bouquet. So it's really definitely marketed for more of the springtime. And I can see that because that's when the roses come up. That's when your florals start blooming. That's when, if you have a garden, your garden comes to life. I don't have a garden. I don't have a green thumb. We have too many birds around here and squirrels, and they eat all the seeds and everything. So we can't have that. It says it's housed in an elegant bottle, which it is. And the full size bottle is gorgeous as well too. Like I said, I have a little bit bigger one, and it's really pretty. It has a pretty bow on it. I love the delicacy of that, the feminineness of that. It says that with an elevated identity, Miss Dior's blooming bouquet is light, elegant, and a promise of love. The delicate Miss Dior bow, woven with silvery threads, echoes the label's signature fabric effect, giving the fragrance an added couture detail. This ingenious jacquard bow was crafted in the guarded workshops of one of the most renowned French ribbon makers, Maison Forot, founded in 1864. It's a perfect detail to everything. It's the packaging. Dior is just on par with its packaging of everything. It pays attention to all the minor details. It's why I really love Dior for their holiday gift boxes and their pairings that they do, is because even a mascara or a lip balm, they really house it in a beautiful box, and you can give it as a gift and be confident that, you know, whoever you're giving it to, the person will be impressed. Or if you give it to yourself, you'll be impressed with yourself. But that is what the scent smells to me, and what it, you know, the vision that it connotates to me. This particular one is does make me like, the imagination smells like summer to me, or something that I could use in the hot sun. This one is definitely very springtimey to me. This definitely, I tend to want to use it more during those cooler months, during the time where the renewness of the florals come out. And so what I decided to pair this with, let me grab that bag, is my Dooney and Bourke drawstring bag. I love this bag. I love this bag. When this first came out, it was at the tail end of the drop. So I was very lucky to grab this one. And this is the bigger one, the large one. They have a smaller one. It's so beautiful. It has like the pink florals. It's very, very delicate looking, but yet it's not too feminine looking, not too foo-foo. It's not too foo-foo looking. And I spent the next few months trying to collect other pieces that were available that I didn't get to this get. Came out later. They re-released this, the large wallet, and I got that to match that. And then on eBay, I was able to grab this little wristlet. So I have some matching accessories to go with it, which I really, really love. And I think that this goes pairing perfectly with the Miss Dior fragrance. This is probably the one that I'm most confident about, that I think that y'all would agree with me on. Let me know. Let me know if I hit the mark on it, and if it pairs with that, if I described it right. Okay, let me put this down and we'll close up. Hold on a second. Okay, Rob, I hope I did this justice. Y'all let me know, Bean Beauties, and let me know how you think I did. Did I describe them well enough? If I didn't describe them well enough, feel free to go to the websites and see what they say to you. Or, you know, in the comment box, let me know if there's anything particular that you wanting to know about each fragrance. I've never paired my fragrance with a handbag before, so that was very interesting. It took me probably a good couple of weeks to really think about this. I actually had to do a little bit of research, went on there to see whether or not I was on the right path, if I was remembering the scents correctly, if I was remembering what each notes were. Oh, I have a visitor. Come on. I have a visitor. Here's Chica. She's been breaking into my studio. They're not allowed in here because of the hair and the fur. I don't want it to get all over the place. But she has been sneaking in lately, and has been coming in. It's late at night. It's only 9 o'clock, but it's late for us. The hubs has been asleep. You want to get down? The husband's been asleep since 6:30 because he gets up at 2:30 in the morning. So he's been asleep for a while. So she's like, "Mom, it's time for you to come to bed." So, but there was a surprise visitor. Now where was I? Oh, so I was definitely this video definitely was a challenge for me. And it actually was a pleasant surprise. I enjoyed it. I stressed about it at the beginning, but once I kind of got into it, once I started, trying to figure it out and refreshing my memory about each scent and kind of the what invoked in me, and writing down my thoughts ahead of time to make sure that I could remember what I was trying to tell y'all about each one. Of course, I didn't go into detail with each notes in it because, like I said, the websites don't have those details in it, or they're not really easy to find, the little details of what everything is in it. But I will help as much as I can. I hope that I was able to help you out a little bit, at least keep you interested to the end of this video. So if you made it to the end of this video, please put down some like fresh soap, some shower, like the shower heads, some flowers, those kinds of things, since that seems to be the theme that I was going for with all three of these fragrances, because that's what I did learn about myself, is that kept coming over and over and over again, reinforcing what I sort of already knew about my taste and my preferences. But this really drilled it home. It really drilled it home when it was back to back to back. It was like, okay, I can see they're all very similar, but they all have their distinct smells or distinct scents. So it's not like I'm wearing the same fragrance each time. And one of the things that I love about fragrances now in this era in 2025 is that, used to, growing up, is like you would find your signature fragrance and you just wore that all the time. And I used to have that. It was gardenias. I used to wear I forgot what the name of the the perfume was. If I can remember, I will put it up for you. And I used to wear that all the time, and that was, I guess, quote, my signature fragrance. And then it was the Michael Kors. It was Michael Kors. I love that one as well too. That one is more of what I would say a heavier scent, a heavier fragrance. It's real a bold fragrance, so I don't wear that all the time. It's not something that I could just an easily to wear fragrance like these three. That one, you do get noticed, and I get a lot of compliments from men. So I have people ask me, "What is that? What is that?" So it's a really great fragrance, but it's not something that I can wear all the time. I wear that more on special occasions to select places, because it is more of a prominent scent. Those were like my signature scents that I would wear like all the time. Now it's like you can wear something different all the time, which I find really refreshing, really liberating. You don't have to be feel like you have to stick to one certain perfume. And you can try a lot, and you can not have to have that um being constricted by that. The fact is that people have to recognize you coming in. Now it's just a matter of, they're like, "Oh, every time I smell you, every time you get close to me, you smell so pretty, you smell something different." And really the only one that ever tells me that is my granddaughter. The hubs hardly, I don't even know if he ever notices. He doesn't ever compliment what I'm wearing. He'll only say what he doesn't like. So if he tells me that he doesn't like something, then I know all the other ones are okay. But there's not one particular fragrance that I have that he's like, "Ooh, I really like that one." But anyhow, TMI, right? TMI. Okay, Bean Beauties, thank you so much for coming along. Let me know how I did. Don't forget to drop the emojis down. That way, if you want to be part of the conversation, but you don't know what to say, if you drop an emoji down, that way it lets me know that you're out there and lets me see you down in the comment box. Alrighty, Bean Beauties. Love y'all. Bye bye.